In the next 10 minutes, I'm going to show you a switch inside your brain. Flip it and you start noticing money, ideas, and opportunities that were invisible to you yesterday. And I'll prove this switch exists before the 2-minute mark. Here's the test. Someone buys a red car. Suddenly they see red cars everywhere. Every street, every parking lot. So were the red cars always there? Of course they were. Then what changed? Nothing out there changed. Something in here changed. Your brain has a filter, and it is deleting almost everything you look at. At the end of this video, I'll hand you a 3-step method for aiming that filter on purpose. But first, you need to see just how much of your life it's been deleting. Right now, your senses are streaming millions of signals into your brain every single second. Scientists have estimated your conscious mind can only process a tiny sliver of that, a few dozen bits. So between the flood and you sits a filter. Part of that system is called the reticular activating system. Its whole job is deletion. It decides what deserves your attention and it quietly kills everything else. And you have already felt it working. You're at a loud party, 30 conversations happening at once. It's all just noise. Then from across the room, someone says your name, and it cuts through everything instantly. Your ears were hearing every conversation all night long. The filter just refused to let them through. One word mattered. It let one word in. So the real question is not whether you have a filter. The question is, who is programming it? The filter takes orders from exactly 2 things: what you focus on repeatedly and what carries emotion. That's the whole red car mystery solved. The purchase made red cars emotionally important, so the filter stopped deleting them. You didn't find red cars. Your filter finally showed them to you. Now run that machine in reverse, on purpose. When you write down one specific goal and you reread it every single morning, you are tagging it as important. Repetition, plus a little emotion, and the filter starts letting the matching pieces through. The conversation you would have ignored, the idea in the middle of a boring meeting, the one person in the room who can actually help you. People look at someone like that and call them lucky. It is not luck. It's a filter, finally pointed at something specific. But catching opportunities is only half the story. Because what almost nobody understands is that a brain used this way doesn't just notice differently. It physically rebuilds itself. In London, taxi drivers spend years memorizing 25,000 streets to pass a test called the knowledge. Neuroscientists put those drivers in a brain scanner. And the hippocampus, the region that handles navigation, was physically larger than in other people. The brain had grown around the demand. This is neuroplasticity. Your brain rewires itself around whatever you repeatedly ask it to do. And here is the part that should stop you in your tracks. In a famous study, one group practiced a simple piano exercise 2 hours a day for 5 days. A second group only imagined practicing. Same schedule, they never touched a key. When researchers mapped their brains, the motor regions of the imaginers had changed in strikingly similar ways to the players. Read that again. Pure thought, repeated with focus, reshaped the physical hardware. So the machine you're carrying around is rebuilding itself every day, no matter what. The only question is what's writing the blueprint, your goals, or your feed. Every scroll is a workout for some circuit in there. The circuits you fire are the circuits that grow. Your brain is a gym where every repeated thought is a rep, whether you chose it or not. And once you truly get that thought alone can rewire you, the next trick becomes obvious. This is exactly why elite athletes rehearse inside their heads. To your motor cortex, a vividly imagined repetition is a repetition. The pathway fires, the wiring strengthens. But here is where most people get visualization completely wrong. They picture the podium, the trophy, the applause, the result. That's not training, that's daydreaming. And research suggests it can actually drain your drive because your brain enjoys the reward without doing the work. Surgeons mentally walk through operations before they scrub in. Concert pianists run entire pieces on a tabletop or on no piano at all. The professionals rehearse the process. The serve, motion by motion, the free throw, the difficult conversation, sentence by sentence. Slow, specific, first person, through your own eyes. Do it right, and every quiet rehearsal is a free repetition. Your brain lays the pathway down before your body ever steps on the court. Now, Everything so far depends on focus you control. But there's a bug in your brain's memory system, a glitch. And if you're smart about it, that glitch becomes your biggest advantage. 1920s. A psychologist named Bluma Zeigarnik is sitting in a busy cafe watching the waiters, and she notices something strange. A waiter could hold a huge order in his head perfectly. Every plate, every drink, right up until the bill was paid. The moment the table settled up, gone, erased. He could barely recall what they ordered. Finished business gets deleted. But unfinished business stays open, running in the background, nagging you. That's the Zeigarnik effect. Every series you've ever binge-watched weaponized it. The episode doesn't end after the resolution. It ends in the middle of the next problem. And the ad break lands right when the plot twists, because an open loop will hold you through anything. Your brain cannot stand an open loop. It will keep paying attention just to close it. So flip the weapon around and point it at your own work. Ernest Hemingway said the best way was to stop writing when you knew what would happen next. Stop mid-scene, even mid-sentence, on purpose. Overnight, your brain keeps chewing on it, for free. And that background processing explains the strangest thing about your best ideas. Think about where they actually show up. Why do your best ideas show up in the shower? Be honest. They never arrive while you're staring at the screen, forcing it. They arrive in the shower, on a walk, while you're washing dishes. Here's why. Your brain runs in two modes: focused mode, narrow, effortful, staring directly at the problem, and diffuse mode. When you back away, a wide network across your brain quietly wakes up and starts connecting distant pieces. Old memories, stray facts, half-finished thoughts. Remember the open loop you left in your work. Diffuse mode is what picks it up and keeps working it while you're not looking. That's the shower idea. It isn't random. It isn't magic. It's a two-stroke engine. Stroke 1. Load the problem into your head hard, real focus. Stroke 2. Step away and let the background network do the connecting. Charles Darwin built a gravel path behind his house and walked laps on it every single day. He called it his thinking path. Some of the biggest ideas in science showed up on a slow walk. Most people never get the idea because they never leave stroke 1. They mistake staring for thinking. Now you have every piece of the machine. Let's bolt it together into a daily system. Here is the whole system on one page. 3 steps, about 10 minutes a day. Step 1, aim the filter. Every morning, write down your single most important target for the day. 1 sentence on paper, reread it. That is you telling the reticular activating system what counts as important, so the deletion machine starts working for you instead of against you. Step 2, plant an open loop. Work in full focus blocks. And when the block ends, stop in the middle of the problem. While you still know exactly what the next move is, it will feel wrong. Do it anyway. That open loop keeps your brain grinding long after you stand up. Step 3. Schedule the diffuse pass. 1 walk, no phone. That's when the background network connects with the focus block loaded. And at night, 2 minutes of process rehearsal for tomorrow's hardest task. Through your own eyes, step by step. Filter, loop, diffuse, rehearse. 10 minutes a day. No app, no subscription. Hardware you already own. And in the first week, expect something small. A useful idea on the walk. A solution waiting for you in the morning. That is the machine coming online. Run it for 1 single week and watch what your brain starts handing you. Your brain is already filtering, already looping, already rewiring. It has been doing it every day of your life. The only real question is whether you are the one steering it. In the next video, I'll show you the memory system medical students use to store an entire textbook and how it turns your brain into a building you can walk through, room by room. Your filter already knows what to do with that. See you there.